So thankful that you all are joining us tonight for our ABC&H Aloe Vera Juice Friday night special session, where Miss Rebecca is going to give us some insight and have a discussion with us. But before we move forward and I introduce her, I would like to ask if Miss Denise Williams, would she would pray for us tonight before we get started.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me to speak over this conference on tonight for the Anointed Body Cleanser and Healer that was God given to Miss Rebecca. On Deuteronomy 6, verses 6 through 9, it speaks on the message for the James King Version. Write these commandments that I've given you today on your hearts. Get them inside of you, and then let them get inside of your children. Talk about them wherever you are sitting, at home, or walking on the streets. Talk about them from time to time. You get up in the morning and when you fall asleep in bed at night. Tie them on your hands and your foreheads as a reminder. Inscribe them on the doorpost of your homes and go on your city gates. That's the message, the King James Version of the Bible on BibleGateway.com. You all can go there to www.biblegateway.com and you can see that verse for yourself. But on tonight, I'm thankful that tonight we are here on behalf of Miss Rebecca J. Brown. She has been coming on conference lines for many, many years, and we have arrived. We are in 2021, and now she's able to do the Zoom calls, the conference calls, but she is an extremely busy lady. But before we get started, I'm thanking God on tonight, that we are allowed another day above ground. Father God, we thank you once again for bringing us all together, the team for Miss Rebecca here on the Anointed Body Cleanser and Healer program. I have been amongst all ministers all week, and we have had a beautiful day. So if I say apostle, reverend, something of that nature, minister, that means that we're in a good place because all of us are capable of doing the same. But with Ms. Rebecca, Father God, we thank you for giving her this God-given formula and that you're able, and that she was reminded to share this juice with everyone. She thought the healing was for her because she prayed for it. But Father God, we've come to find out through her speaking, through her talking, how this all came about was because of you, Father God, to bring this to your children, Father God, us here on this conference and many others. We all belong to the Creator, whether we believe it or not. We all belong to Him, and He all wants us to know that we are back in the garden where we were originally. And with that, Father God, we thank you for reminding us and bringing it back to our memory. And we thank you again, and we thank you for Miss Rebecca, the team for the ABC&H Aloe Vera Juice, Anointed Body Cleanser and Healer. With that, Father God, being said, we thank you. Humbly pleading the blood of Jesus all over this conference. And we thank you. We thank you. We thank you. Humbling ourselves, listening an ear to hear and a spirit to follow. We thank you. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Ms. Denise, for that prayer and those greetings tonight. So I have the very special opportunity and the pleasure of introducing our CEO and founder of Anointed Body Cleansing and Healer Aloe Vera Juice and Topical. I'm just going to share a few things about her that I didn't know, but I had the opportunity to find out tonight. I think it'll really be encouraging for us to hear some of the things that she has been able to accomplish. Miss Rebecca Brown is from South Carolina. She graduated from Fordham University in New York with a BS and an MS in accounting. She also has an MS in chemistry. She devoted 8 years to cancer research at East New York Hospice Facility, and growing and pursuing her desire to be a neurosurgeon. Miss Rebecca scored the second highest score on the MCAT, the Medical College Admissions Test, affording her a specialty residency and intern at Cornell University and a full ride to attend George Washington University Medical School, which brought her here to Washington, D.C. As a research scientist for Pfizer Pharmaceutical and the drive and gift of learning and working toward becoming a neurosurgeon, the need and demand of being a student, mother, wife, a caregiver to all, became competing opponents. So Miss Rebecca Brown, committed to her family first. And that life's decision allowed her to pursue working in the government and consulting at various federal agencies while providing her opportunity to grow and establish her accounting business for individuals and businesses as an expert certified public accountant and health wellness consultant and chemist as the CEO and founder of Anointed Body Cleanser and Healer, Aloe Vera Juice. All right, Miss Rebecca makes no excuses or conceals the fact that God spoke in Genesis 1 and creation appeared. In Genesis 2, God molded and made man with his hands, creating and giving man power to overcome, pursue, and have dominion on earth that reflects a whole and healed body from sicknesses, diseases, and infirmities. Numbers 2 and 4, 24 and 6, I'm sorry, it's one of her favorite scriptures. It says, as the valleys are, they spread forth as gardens by the riverside. The trees of lin aloes, which the Lord hath planted, and as cedar trees beside the waters. God touched and planted the aloe vera, this plant, for the healing of the land, nations, and for man. Miss Rebecca has 2 children. She has 6 grandchildren and two great-grandchildren. As we receive her tonight, as she's going to present what God has given her to us, I just want us to all to be encouraged. I want us to be open to receive what she has to say. And one thing that I really love about Miss Rebecca, she always gives of herself. And I appreciate the fact that God has allowed her to be the CEO of Anointed Body Cleanser and Healing Aloe Vera Juice. And he has given us a special gift in an earthen vessel. So I present to everyone tonight, Miss Rebecca Brown, the CEO.
Okay. Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing this evening? Thank you, Michael, and the rest of the team for doing a superb job in helping me because I need all the help I can get. There are a couple of things that I want to address, and I kept telling you I had a surprise for you, and I do. I just need your prayers with me and for me as we go through this. There's one thing that I want to do before we get started. We've always asked questions of people on the phone. I learned through some calls that we have some young people on this calls, and I really want to welcome them as I welcome everyone else, but I want to welcome them in a special way because this product will prevent them from going through some of the issues that we are encountering. So I just hope that what I have to share with you will resonate with them and give them some insight on becoming healthy and well balanced in their mind, their spirit, and their physical body. So now let's get started. A couple of things that I wanted to do first about this plant is to take you through some of the stages of where this plant came from and the parts of the world that it has encountered as it traveled. So just bear with me, and I want the slides to stay up because I will go through that as well. But I'm going to give you the history of this plant. First of all, understand this. Most people think that it's a cactus. It's not. It's a lily. Okay, let's start with as far back as history can tell us. This plant started before Christ. That's what we're dealing with. That's the power of what we're dealing with. It was used as a laxative, and it started in what is now a part of Iraq, but it really started in Africa. One day, a young girl was walking to get some water, And as she was walking to get some water, her leg was injured by a bush. And so it cut her leg and the leg was bleeding. So as she continued to walk, to show you how powerful God is, he allowed her to also encounter the aloe vera, which immediately sealed the vessels and stopped the bleeding. So she was excited. She ran back and told her mother what had happened. So the mother got a part of the plant, took it home, and then it continued. The story continues. So in 22 BC, it ended up being experienced in Iraq as a laxative. That's what they use it for. So as you can see, it's phasing itself in to our society. Now, in 1550 BC, it was used as medication both internally and externally. Most people did not realize you could use aloe vera internally. Most people know that it's used for external burns, and it's always was referred to as the burn plant. So 400 BC, it was used in Western Asia and in India, and it was used for medical conditions. So let's go to 330 BC. Aloe vera was used to treat Alexander the Great wounded soldiers. So it just goes to show you the history of this plant. Go to 50 BC. In 50 BC, it was introduced by a Greek physician. So now it has made its impact in Greece. In 2200, AD, aloe vera was used extensively in Rome medicine. Okay, 700 to 800 aloe vera was first used in China. So as you can see, it's making its way through the world. 1000 to 1300 aloe vera is used in Europe, and now it's being accepted as a healing agent. 1500 to 1600, it ended up in the Spain, being accepted as a healer. 1820, now it comes to the US, officially listed as a skin protectant. But it continues on. 1900, it's used to treat radiation burns, ulcers, and other ailments. 1953, the aloe vera started healing ulcers, radiations, and other treatments faster than any medical known agent. In 1980, aloe vera heals frostbites, eliminating scarring, and it regenerates hair follicles, allowing for the growth of hair in burn regions. In 1985, Dr. Jeffrey Bland shows that drinking aloe vera juice improves protein digestion, help normalize bowel habits, control yeast infections, promote balanced digestive bacteria, relieve indigestion, irritable bowel syndrome, colitis, and acid stomach. Aloe vera has no toxic effects. So I gave you that so you can understand this is not something that started yesterday. This plant has been around before Christ. So now let's start with the slides that we're looking at. For those of you that's on the phone and can't see the slides, let me just kind of give you an idea of what we're working with. Okay, aloe vera. Aloe vera is a thick, pointed, and fleshy green leaf which can grow to about 12 to 19 inches. Now, remember something about aloe vera. Aloe vera, I have a little one with me, so just be patient with me. Aloe vera is important because it can go 7 years without water. It generates its own water from the leaves. So it is a plant not only with power in healing, with power in sustaining itself. And I want you to think with me as I say these things to you, because whenever, as Michael read, whenever God touched something, always know that the power that he has, he releases it in whatever he touched. For example, man has power that he does not recognize. So when man was touched by God, when God created him, instead of speaking him into existence, God also touched the aloe vera because he knew what man would need when man got ill, because God created man's body. And so therefore, you have to understand the body is powerful. It heals itself. It protects itself. All you have to do is keep it cleansed. And guess what? Aloe vera is that cleansing agent. So not only does it has a cleansing capability, it contains a lot of the vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and oxidants that we need. That's why it is used in everything that we have. Medicines, it's used in cosmetics, it's used in skincare, it's used in everything that we have. So just know that what we're dealing with is the power of God Himself. So excuse me a second. So now let's go to the next slide. Okay, look at the medicinal usages of aloe vera from A to Z. One thing I want you to understand about these, one thing I want you to understand about all of these illnesses that aloe vera used for in curing. When I say curing, that's exactly what I mean. Because guess what? All of our diseases, bacteria, and viruses comes from illnesses that where the bacteria has entered either the cells, causing the cells to become incapable of functioning properly. And all we need is cleansing the cells, cleansing the cavity of the body, cleansing the blood. We don't need all these surgeries that we get. We don't need all of the medications that we take outside because it's toxins. The body is made up of chemicals. And when you take the medications that we are given, this synthetic medications, it's toxins. So if you think about it, and I want you to think about this carefully, before you leave home in the mornings, you encountered at least 150 toxins before you walk out your door. And how that is because the soap that you use, the toothpaste that you use, the shampoo that you use, everything that you use in your house has toxins in it because it has chemicals. So therefore, I want you to stop and realize everything that you see on this list, it came from our creation because of the habits that we have as far as living, because of the lifestyles that we have. All we have to do is change our eating habits, change the ability of exercising, make sure that we give the body a complete flushing with the type of water that we drink. All of these things are so important. And I challenge all of you. I don't care how serious these diseases look like, and they are. Don't kid yourself. These diseases can be deadly. But remember one thing, you are in charge. This is your body. God gave it to you, but He also gave you something to keep it cleansed. And if you can use what He gave you to keep it cleansed, you don't have to worry about being ill. So just go through from A to Z and just look at everything we brought on ourselves. And if we stop right now, change your eating habits, change the fact that you don't exercise. Change the type of water that you drink and watch how the body responds. Watch how the cleansing takes place. Watch how the healing takes place. We can change and we should change. So now let's go to the next slide. Okay. Aloe vera is interesting because it contains vitamin B, it contains minerals, it contains nutrients. Everything that the body needs, it is included in this plant. And I want to address something as this slide is up. A lot of times I hear people say that they had, when I asked them about cleansing, they had a colon cleanser. Well, I don't know whether many of you know this or not, but there are 4 colons. So when you say to me you had a colon cleanser, which colon did you clean? Because you got 4 of them. And I will address the 4 for you. You have what they call ascending colon, which is the one that goes up. The function of that colon, it absorbs the water and the nutrients that cannot be digested in the body, that is sent to be solid waste. Okay, now think about it. All the food that you eat, the body doesn't use it. So, but the body has to get rid of it. That's what the ascending colon does. It helps remove that type of waste from the body. Now, the descending colon is the one that's going down. And what that does, it stores waste and feces to be removed from the body. So if you're cleaning your colon, which one are you cleansing? The third one is the transverse. The transverse absorbs water and salt to help form the stool and the waste from the body. And it runs across. Now, the sigmoid, it holds the feces and waste until you're ready to go to the bathroom. So when you eat, your food is sitting. And remember, these colons are entangled. They're not straight, so the food doesn't always pass through. So for example, when you eat something as simple as meat, it takes meat 3 to 7 days to digest in order for the body to use it. But remember, it cannot use decayed food. And that's what happens. The food stays in the colon so long, it becomes decayed. And remember, you eat meat 2 and 3 times a day. So you have all of this clogged food, decayed food, unused food sitting in your colon. That is what creates colon cancer. That is what creates diverticulitis, which is nothing more than pockets that's sitting in the colon that's collecting the food, so the food can't go properly through the digestive system and directly into the body, which is the cells that actually supplies the food. Because what happens, the blood, once the food is broken down, the blood takes it as it travels throughout the body. So let's go to the next slide, please. Okay, this is very important. Anytime aloe vera has the power to preserve Jesus's body, just think what it will do for you and I. And when a lot of these stores have aloe vera, they have acids and sugars in the aloe vera, and they only have anywhere between 20 to 30% aloe vera. The rest of it is sugar and acids, but aloe vera itself is a preservative. So you don't need to preserve a preservative. and it's the best preservative you will ever find. So as you look through all of the issues that the body has, God has prepared a means, a way, and a source for us to get help. The questions that we have to ask ourselves: are you interested enough in yourself, your health, and your well being to actually get into the body and into the Word of God to see how you can help yourself? Yes, we need doctors, as I always said to you, but the doctor himself has to get help. So our doctor actually is God himself, and he provided the medicine. All we have to do is use it. And I encourage all of you to use it because it's that important. It's extremely important. Now, I have a few things, and I'm going to flip from the slides for a moment because I want to address a couple of things for you that several people have called me, and I thought I would put together something to try and answer some of your questions. To answer some of your questions. So here is what we're going to do. I want to explain something to you. When you have issues about what happens to the body, and I'm speaking directly to two particular issues, and these issues are: for women, it's menopause; for men, it's erectile dysfunction. Now, I want to share something with you that will explain to you how and why these things happen so you get a better understanding. A lot of questions have been asked of me, and what I've noticed, because I guess it's because of it's from the reproductive system, a lot of people don't want to ask or embarrassed to ask. I'm not sure, but it's a part of you, and I want you to understand what's happening to you and how you can fix these problems, because they can be fixed. And the answer is in aloe vera. So let me just share this with you. In dealing with, let's start with menopause first. In dealing with menopause, menopause is, it starts with the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus communicates with the ovaries. So there is a discussion going on. And in this discussion, it's discussing how much estrogen should be given to the body to keep the body functioning and keep the reproductive system working the way it should be working. Okay? Now, as you get older, because we aren't used to cleansing the body properly, what happens is the buildup of all of these issues starts to come in and overtake the body. When I say overtake the body, what I'm talking about, think of a hose that you're flushing water through. And over a period of time, after flushing that water, there's a buildup in that hose. And I will give you an example to relate it to. You've seen people over a period of time starts to take up old pipes and put down new pipes. That's because these old pipes has what they call a residual buildup. And so now the water flow can't go through properly the way it should. So they have to replace it with new pipes so you can have a nice water flow. But that's what's happening in your body. The proper flow of estrogen has to have a clear path. But if you haven't cleansed your body, and I want you to think back when you are from infancy to, let's say, 40 years old, you haven't cleansed your body because you don't know that aloe vera exists. So you don't know how to cleanse your body. So you have this buildup. Well, now, as you get older, this estrogen can't be produced properly. And so the conversation between the hypothalamus and the ovaries breaks down. And so that sets on menopause. And so it's like you're on the phone talking and someone cut the line. And so now this particular conversation between the ovaries and the hypothalamus can no longer work. So now the body is in disarray. This estrogen is trying to be produced. It doesn't know where to go. That's what creates hot flashes. And guess what? You put aloe vera in, it opens up the channels, releases all of the buildup, and your problem for menopause becomes smooth as the way it's supposed to do. It's a life cycle. You understand? So that's what several people have asked me, what can I do for menopause and hot flashes? All you have to do is use aloe vera. But you have to be consistent. What happens based on some of the conversations I've had with people, you're using it, but you're not consistent. Always remember this, if you don't use it, you lose it. If you don't use the aloe vera, your body can't perform the functions of cleansing. And so that's what happens. You end up getting sick because of all of these broken systems that needs cleansing. They're stuck and they are clogged. Anything that clogged doesn't work. It backs up. Just like a toilet, it backs up. When it backs up, it causes problems. It's the same system with your body. So I want you to understand that this is what happens. So for those of you that have asked me, what can you do for hot flashes? Drink your juice. It's just that simple. Drink it every day, twice a day. And I guarantee you, your hot flashes will disappear. And that's the way that works. Now, I'm going to take on the men. And I know that one person in particular, and I'm going to tell you who it is, has asked me several times about this. And this happens to be Denise. She's always had this conversation with me. What causes erectile dysfunction? Erectile dysfunction is for men. And it actually starts with the buildup of excess toxin chemicals in the testicles. How do you stop this? What do you do about it? Because now, once this buildup starts, the person's activity sexually wise doesn't exist anymore. So now this person feels ashamed, embarrassed, alone. You can fix it. Start drinking your aloe vera twice a day, because all it is again, free radicals that have gotten in your system that has caused a blockage between the urethra and the penis. So you don't have that communication going on. And when you don't have that communication going on, what you have to do is find out how to start it, how to continue it. All you do is to relieve the blockage is simply drink the aloe vera, and it flushes and cleanses that tube that runs from the urethra to the penis. And so for those of you who have fought with this and gone to doctors and they've given you medication, that doesn't work. It's just drinking the aloe vera. It's a cleanser. It will cleanse anything, everything on you. And I want you to understand it well enough so you can understand that you are accountable you are responsible for your body. It's good to consult your doctors, but when your body gives you signals, when it hurts, it's telling you it's in trouble. It will even pinpoint certain areas for you to look into, to investigate, not ignore. Most of our issues, we ignore it and say, oh, I have to go to my doctor to have him look at it. And when you show up at the doctor, guess what he asks you? Where do you hurt? You have to tell him so he'll know where to treat you. And guess what? Look at it on a financial basis. It's costing you for him to ask you a question on how to treat you. Is it worth it? So I want you to look at things and think about where you have allowed yourself not to invest in yourself. Because this is all about you. This is all about what you're capable of doing to help yourself. And the question that you have to ask yourself, the ones that I always ask myself, is this: have I done everything I could to show my body that I care? It's good to talk about how much you care about your body, but talk is cheap. It's action that actually show that you care. And if you can't show that you have invested in you, you've taken care of you, and that means changes your eating habits, changes your sleeping habits, your exercising, and every once in a while, and if you don't think it worked, I want you to try it. Take your arms, wrap it around your body, and tell your body how much you love it for taking care of you. Don't take it for granted. And most of us just assume every day it's supposed to work until it doesn't work. And then when it doesn't work, we get upset. There are a couple other things and then that I'm going to share with you, and then I will say we can continue on. One of the things that I want to really share with you, we talk about healing. I want to say to you, and I've told you this before, healing comes in three ways. And it's not the synthetic conventional healing that man has created. It's what God has created. And it is called holistic. And the reason it's called holistic, it is not just healing parts of your body, it includes the whole body. When I say that, I mean the mind, the soul, and the physical body. And that's what aloe vera does. Any physical issues you have, consider them done. Any mental issues you have, consider them gone. I don't care how drastic they sound. I don't care what the doctor says. I'm telling you that it will be taken care of. Because that's the way God designed this. God is the creator. God knows us. He loves us. He provided for us. And he will take care of you, but he gave you free will. You've got to be responsible for taking care of yourself. And if you drink aloe vera spiritually, you're going to eventually be connected to God, right back where you started from. So I want you to understand you are responsible. You are accountable. Just use what God gave you. You don't have to go anywhere looking for it. The plant sits, obviously, sitting on, anytime you go in a place, you see it sitting there that has plants. And people overlook the plant. The plant is the most powerful plant sitting in the gardening department. It's so powerful. If you break it, it will heal itself within seconds. That's just the power of it. And so if it has that much power, why aren't you willing to do it? Why aren't you trying it? Why aren't you consistent? You have to be consistent. To try it here and there isn't going to work. It will work temporarily, but guess what? Your problem will return. I had a conversation briefly with Michael about this, and I want to share this with you because I want you to understand. If you think about it, because I tried it, when the spring comes, when I start getting my garden ready, I get so sick of these weeds. So I've gone out and got weed killer, and I've gotten everything I could to get rid of these weeds. And temporarily I will. But guess what? When spring shows up again, that same weed will return. I say that to say this. If a weed is obedient to the will and the way of God, that it will do anything and everything to get under rocks, endure all kinds of poison just to show up. Why aren't we willing to do what else? To preserve our life, to have a better quality of life. You deserve it, but it's on you. It's accountability. Take responsibility. I challenge all of you to do it. I had to do it. And I will tell you, I am so thankful to God that I did. Because when my life hung in the balance, nothing or no one could help me. But once I got free, I was free forever because I refuse not to take this product because at 71 years old, I never have any or abnormal numbers when I go for my physical. And that's just the grace of God. That's just the grace of God. One other thing I'm going to go over with you, and then I will let you talk back to me. And that particular subject would be the pharmacy. It's a natural pharmacy. Instead of getting your medication from your local pharmacy, why don't you go and look at what God has in his pharmacy? It doesn't have side effects. All it does is bring you nothing but good health. And people talk about wealth. If you got good health, you're wealthy. I spent most of my morning into about 2:00 today with a friend that is struggling with cancer and MS. And we had to go, and she had to have all these tests done. And, I'm encouraging her and supporting her. And one of the issues was she and I were talking, and I said to her, it's interesting because we all take such things as walking for granted. Don't do it. Don't take anything in your health for granted because it doesn't have to happen. And I was with her because she needed the support. I was with her for spiritual, moral, and physical support. Because when you're enduring a crisis, a medical crisis in your body, you've got to get as much help as you can. Please hear me. If you don't hear anything else I've said tonight, think about if this product is powerful enough to preserve Jesus's body. And remember, Jesus was both human and divine. Just think what it would do for you. But we've got to develop habits of consistency. You must be consistent. It will not work for you if you're not consistent. You take it to this week, next week you want, the following week you might. What do you expect? I plead with you, I beg you to please, please, please stay on it. And I guarantee you this, if you do, watch your medical bills be reduced. The money that you're putting into medical bills, open up your account and put it there. And watch that the quality of your life will change. Your mental status will change. Your spiritual status will change. You will look at life different. You will look at the world different. And then you build a relationship with God that will keep you focused. When you are suffering and you're worrying, you can't focus on the things of God to help you. So I plead with you, please, please, if you're going to do this, and it's your choice, be consistent, because inconsistency is not going to work. And I'm the first to tell you that. And I know we're getting close, but I wanted to share some good news with you. God has been good to me. God has shown me favor, even though I used to question whether it could or would happen. But in spite of that, I was still faithful. I am in the process now, but this product has gotten out of control. I can no longer control it. It has put my house in disarray. I am now getting ready to go to closing on the new farm that I purchased. And I want all of you, and I mean it from the depth of my heart, to be a participant in this. When we get it all set up, I want all of you to come visit. I want you to give me suggestions and ideas. We're talking about 125 acres of land that has 50 acres of cleared land, 75 acres of timber. And it's so much beauty, so much peace, so much just God. So I want to give all of you an open invitation to please, once I get this settled, I've got emails about this now that I'll be looking at after this conversation, but please, please keep this in prayer. Keep this lifted up to God, that God guides us, leads us, protects us, and support us in this effort, because it's a huge effort. I'm willing to go to bat as much as I can, but I need your help. It's a lot of work, because many days, and I will be honest with you, it got so out of control, I was willing to walk away. What's interesting, when I turned to walk away, someone would call me and say, are you going to be at Pentagon City today? Are you going to be? And then I have to come back and say, okay, yes, I will. If they only knew I was getting ready to shut down shop. But that just goes to show you, if you're faithful, God will be faithful to you. So that's all I have to say. It was a pleasure, indeed a pleasure, talking to you. I look forward to meeting you all, and I look forward to you all talking back to me and just kind of give me ideas of what you think. So I'm done. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. So now, Barbara, you can take it from here.
Thank you, Ms. Rebecca. Beautiful presentation and great talks. Now we're going to open up the floor to questions and answers. And please do not be shy.
Well, this is Deanna, and first of all, I'd like to say thank you so much, Rebecca. This is so powerful. I was taking pictures of everything that you shared, the slides, and wrote down notes. And I've told you this before, and I'm just sharing this. I'm definitely, I volunteer my time, my energy. You know, I love and appreciate you, and definitely being able to take your aloe vera juice and topical. And you know, I got an order coming up right now. um, I am so grateful. It has allowed me to definitely experience a better quality of life. I know I've been doing my best to tell as many people about this. In fact, I know I have some guests on the line. So I definitely love you, appreciate you, and you can count on my hands and, you know, my heart and my mind to come on down. Look, I can't look. Don and I have already talked about we're gonna be coming down the road, helping you as much as possible, because everybody needs to be on this. So we're so grateful for your love and your commitment and your dedication to empowering people to live the best quality of life. And literally, like you said, with you know, with the aloe vera that God has given us. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Welcome.
Miss Rebecca.
Yes.
Okay, this is Gladys from Houston, Texas. How are you this
I'm
evening?
terrific. How are you? Good to hear from you.
I'm great. I'm great. I just wanted to say thank you so much for everything that you do for us and share with us on the call and off the call. I tell you, and every time I hear you speak, Mr. Rebecca, about something, it puts something else in my mind and hard to do. Denise has been on me for the longest about taking walks and getting out in the sun. One day I'll do it, and one day I won't do it, you know. So listening to you tonight, I made up my mind. If I don't do nothing but walk through the house back and forth for so long, I'm going to start doing something rather than just sitting around all day long and finding out something else that the aloe vera does for me. Thank you so much, and
You're
God bless
welcome.
you on the farm and everything. And you know that I'm visually impaired, making no excuses, but you know I'll just be with you in spirit whenever it opens and everything. God bless you.
Well, you're welcome, and don't worry about visually impaired. I have some impaired vision, but I use my eyes to share with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Like Denise. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good evening, Miss Rebecca. This is Peggy.
Hi, Peggy.
Hi. Listen, I am so excited for what is transpired with you. You know, from the day I met you, for those listening, I met Miss Rebecca about 17 months ago, coming out with somebody else who was getting the juice, and we just clicked. And I have since been taking the aloe vera juice faithfully as a preventive measure, because I don't have anything going on in my body. But one of the things that I noticed 90 days in was that my mind, my creative just innovation and creativity just began to flow.
Mm-hmm.
And so it heightened in that area and has continued to cause my body to be sustained. I talk about it, tell everybody about it. She enlightened me about it. You know, this is God's plant. He's the one that planted it.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, you have been a wealth of knowledge. I told you, you know, I had just met you, and I'm still saying, I already in 90 days, I'm like, I love you. And, you know, but I'm telling you, you don't get people in your life like this on a regular basis. To all the young people she said was listening, draw from this well of life. I love you. I thank you so much. And you know, my hand, I've been asking you from the beginning, whatever you need help with. I know we just met, but you got my hands, my eyes, and whatever else you need, finances too. Thank you so very much.
You're quite welcome. It's good to hear from you and to know that you were willing to join and participate in this. It means so much to me. I thank you very much.
You are so welcome.
Miss Rebecca, we have Herbie James. And Herbie, will you unmute, please?
good now. I apologize.
Yeah, I just had a question for you. Is there any way I could put like any type of fruit in the aloe vera juice?
Any kind of what?
Any type of fruit in
Let me,
the aloe vera juice?
let me ask you this. Why would you want to put fruit in it?
It's kind of strong, so I'm just wondering.
Let me just share this with you. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's why it does the cleansing. See, what you have to understand, you have a palate in your taste buds for sugar. And so sugar is what bacteria likes. So
Oh,
we have conditioned our taste buds to love sweet, but your body can't handle sweet. So aloe vera is taste the way it does because it's a stringent cleanser. So you don't want to put sugar or any kind of flavoring in it because guess what? You break the consistency and the potential and the effectiveness of getting the cleansing that you deserve. Take my word on this, and you can ask others as well. After you start taking it for a while, your taste buds revert to accept the taste. All you have to do is drink your big glass of water after it, and you'll be good to go.
okay. Thank
Okay?
you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Rebecca, this is Donna.
Hi, Donna.
Hi, I had can you speak on briefly, if you're taking supplements along with the aloe vera, do we really need additional supplements?
No, you don't. As a matter of fact, aloe vera has over 240 minerals, vitamins, and nutrients that you need. And it's a good question because a couple of people asked me this, and I want you to think about this. When you buy these supplements from the stores, you have no idea how much your body actually requires. So you could be oversupplying the body, which is just as bad as undersupplying, because the body is trying to kick it off and you continually supplying it. What aloe vera does, and again, just show you the precision of God and the power of God, because He created us, He knows exactly how much of whatever mineral, vitamins, or any kind of nutrient we need. Aloe vera will go in because remember this, when you ingest aloe vera, it gets directly into your blood. The blood is what feeds the body. And so the blood will go all over the body. When it goes all over the body, it checks to see what's in balance and what's out of balance. And if anything is out of balance, aloe vera will stop and start preparing it to bring it into balance. And if you are taking supplements and it's, let's say you're taking vitamin B12 and you have an excess, aloe vera is going to flush it out. Not only will it flush it out, it will completely remove it because remember, the supplement that you're buying is not natural. It is syndicated with chemicals that the chemists put together. And aloe vera will not allow anything that's not natural to stay in the system. So it's going to flush it out. Then it's going to supply you the exact amount of natural vitamin B or whatever nutrient or vitamin that you need or minerals. So here's what I would suggest. All of this supplementals that you're buying, open up your account, put your funds in there and see how you increase your assets over the year. Does that help you?
Yeah. and look, thanks for speaking on the hot flashes. I gotta stay consistent because when the hot flashes and the mask, oh my God.
Miss Rebecca, we have a hand up. Ken, unmute yourself, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi, yes, Rebecca.
Hi.
Yes, this is Apostle Ken Roberts out of Atlanta. I'm trying to find out some information from you.
Sure.
If you have been dealing with gallbladder issues, this is something that goes on within my family, and I know for me, they've had their gallbladder sticking out, but for me, I said if God gave it to me, He meant for it to be there to do something.
I agree.
And I'm not in a position to do it, but it has my digestive system. I have to buy everything I can to keep my digestive system in rightful place. So I've been doing this ever since I am 20, started around age 20. So this has been good 40 years.
Oh my goodness.
So it has wreaked havoc over my life, and they want to go in and possibly even do parts of my intestines. But I know that I'm not going to do that. And I prefer to go natural.
I agree.
But I didn't want nothing that most of the stuff that I've been taking, and which is supplemental that I did natural stuff I was trying to do, it seems somehow or another, a lot of it just don't agree, because I take various digestive enzymes and various things of that nature that, to try to correct the problem with the gallbladder and what the gallbladder is not doing. But it also created other problems within the digestive tract that has created other problems on compound on top of that. So there is a compound of one thing after another. So, and also being on medication. But so right now, my whole body just kind of out of whack. And I, to know that I know I serve a God that can do the impossible.
Exactly.
And I don't believe that what I got is impossible. I know it's not impossible. I just do not believe that I have come into I have got to the right person to give me the right thing that I needed that was going to work with my body, because everything else seemed to kind of twirl my body into some kind of I take it and boom, my body takes, as soon as it hits it, boom, it automatically knocks it out, and my system just go haywire. And there I am with my stomach upset. It just goes, and it will last until I stop taking it. So I've been trying to figure out what can I do.
Okay. I agree with everything that you say, and I understand everything you say, and you're absolutely right. Always know this, that the body is a machine that is put together by God. And if one, and I'll give you this for an example, most of you probably can relate to this. If you have a problem with one of your eyes, the other eye compensates for the eye that's not working well. And the same thing with your ears. But look at it this way. Every part of your body is supposed to function properly to keep the body functioning, to keep it cleansed, to keep it healthy, and to keep it operating as the machine that God designed it to. Now for you, what you're suffering with is free radicals, something I spoke about earlier. When something happens in the body will tell you, it will give you signals. The question is, do you know what to do about it? Most of us go to the doctor. Again, he's going to ask you, what's wrong with you? You tell him, of course, and being a chemist myself, they will concoct chemicals together. What you have to understand, your body is made of chemicals. You're taking chemicals from the medication. You're creating a new unknown chemical in your body that is called a free radical. And when that free radical occurs, you don't know the capability of it. The doctor don't know the capability of it. And so your body is saying, this is an unknown, I have to get rid of it. The body tries to get rid of it, but you keep taking it. So the body keeps fighting back. You keep taking it. At some point, you will weaken the body. Now, you said something that I've heard a lot of people say, and I want to kind of clarify this for you. You said it runs in your family. You know why it runs in your family? It's not genetically or it's not by DNA. It is because of the family eating habits, their living habits, and their lifestyle. Because you know you do what your family does. And so that's why you feel that it runs in your family, and you're correct. So here's what I would say to you. Don't do anything else. Get yourself some aloe vera, and I will stand on this. If you drink it the way you're supposed to, consider your problem solved. However, that doesn't mean you stop. And always know this, several people have asked me this, why don't you have a cream? Anything that you take out of its natural form to generate gels or creams, you have to use chemicals. And so most of you that got the topical was expecting a cream. The reason the topical works the way it's supposed to, it gets right into the bloodstream. The blood takes the juice wherever the problem is, and it starts working on it immediately. That's why you feel results quickly.
I see.
You
So,
understand?
and so yeah, so you make a lot of sense in regards to that. Now, if I decided to get this, how would someone contact you? I mean, I got on the call kind of late. Unfortunately, I thought the call was at 6:30. I mean, at 8:30 Eastern time, but unfortunately, it was at 8.
Okay.
So I got on kind of late.
There is a team that works with me on this, and there is an email that you can communicate with them. There is a phone number. If I sat here and told you I remember it, I would be telling you the truth. So what I can tell you is at the end, it's going to come up and someone will give you that information, and that's how you're going to do it. Okay. But that it's I don't know, are you, let me see here, I can read it to you. Let me give you exchange. Okay, Barbara, can you bring it up so I can see it and then I can share it with him? Okay, why don't you email to this email address: A as in apple, B as in boy, C as in cat, H as in Henry, dot, A as in apple, V as in victory, J as in joy, U as in us, I as in ice, C as in cat, E as in eat, at gmail.com. So that's abch.avjuice@gmail.com. And then let me give you the phone number: 202-556-3181. And I'll repeat it: 202-556-3181. Was that helpful?
Okay, it's ABCH AV juice.
ABCH dot AV.
Oh yeah, I see. Okay, dot. Yeah, okay.
Dot avjuice@gmail.com. You got it?
Okay. Yes, ma'am. I think I got it. So at taking this in, would they tell me how to take it? It's just, do I need to go by what they tell me to take?
No, they'll tell you how to get the juice. Questions about how to take it, and again, with your condition and I can just share this with you now. Once you get it, I would suggest take no less than 8 ounces a day. Here's why. 8 ounces a day, 4 in the morning and 4 at night. Because you're dealing with a gallbladder issue, it has to go in effective, immediately fighting the issue. And within, give yourself 3 to 5 days, you'll start seeing a difference. And let me just say this, and hopefully this will help you understand. One thing you have to understand about aloe vera, because it was created by God, and you have to understand, and I don't know whether most of you know this, but let me share it. Over a period of 5 to 6 years, the body regrows organs and bone structure, because in order to keep the body healthy, you have to have regeneration. And that's why cells multiply and divide, because the old cells must die and the new cells must be generated. I don't know whether a lot of you know this, but we all have cancerous cells, but our cancerous cells are cells that have been multiplied and divided, but they won't die. So instead of dying, what they do, they continue to multiply, and that's what creates the tumor. And that's what relates to cancer. So there are so many things that you can understand if you understand the whole concept of how the body regenerates, how it revives itself, and if anything that's missing and the body is functioning without it, aloe vera will regenerate it. So for example, your gallbladder, it's going to take the damaged gallbladder and regenerate you a good one.
Okay. All right.
Miss Rebecca.
Attendee name announce off.
Miss Rebecca,
yes.
We have 2 questions in the chat. And the first one is from Patrick Archer. He wants you to express effects of fibromyalgia and Alzheimer's disease. And the second one is, are you speaking about aloe vera juice that can be purchased in a store?
Okay, the first one is about Alzheimer's and inflammation.
Alzheimer's and fibromyalgia.
Okay, understand this. Arthritis, inflammation, fibromyalgia, they're all the same. Inflammation is good at a certain level, but when you get inflammation build up in your body to the point where your joints starts to hurt, your nervous system is encased, that means you have a problem. You have a serious problem. I was talking to a woman today. She has rheumatoid arthritis. What is happening? So much inflammation is in her body. It is stopping the body from functioning. So she has to get steroid shots to keep the body functioning. Aloe vera will flush out inflammation. Aloe vera will take the problems that inflammation has caused, and it will repair those damaged parts, and you will start to function properly. The key to all of this is you must be consistent. You can try it and it makes you feel good and you think you're over it. No, you have to be consistent. It's just like eating. If you don't eat, you'll die. If you stop using it, the problem returns. So it becomes a part of your lifestyle. And as far as Alzheimer's is due to oxidation, that is a breaking down of metals that got into your brain. And it's in a part of the brain that man can't get to. If you can remember, years ago, people cooked in aluminum pots and they stored food in aluminum pots. Well, the aluminum started to oxidize. When it oxidized, and when I say oxidize, what I'm speaking about, it starts to break down and become a part of the food. So when you consume the food, you're consuming this metal. It gets into the brain and converts to excess calcium, I'm sorry. And when it converts to excess calcium, it's too much calcium for the brain to handle. And it's in a part of the brain that the doctor can't get to. But you drink aloe vera, and you remember I said aloe vera gets into the blood. Wherever the blood goes, aloe vera travels. So that means aloe vera can get into that part of the brain. And then what it does is starts to flush the excess calcium out, reversing the condition of dementia, which eventually turns into Alzheimer's. So that's how it works on inflammation, which is part of arthritis, fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, and Alzheimer's. And the second part of that question, I think you said, is it the one that you buy at the store? Absolutely not. What I said earlier was the one in the store, it has in it acids and sugars, which is not good for the body. And these are not natural sugars. And you already have acid in the body, so you don't need to add more. That is what you're dealing with. So when you think you're getting better, you're actually adding to your problem, because only between 20 to 30% of aloe vera are in those products. So sometimes read the labels before you buy them and make sure you understand what you're consuming. Is that helpful?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I need to say something, please. This is Fran. We've got a lot of people on the line. We have a lot of people that are waiting to ask a question.
Sure.
Please, if you're not speaking or asking a question, please make sure you're muted. We've had somebody that's been unmuted the entire call that has a child that is talking and we can hear it. So please make sure that you are muted. If it's on the phone, it's *6. And if you're on the computer, just check on the left and click on the little red microphone there, because we're getting a whole lot of noise here. And when you do open your line, please make sure that your background is quiet. We're hearing TVs and people talking as the people are trying to ask the questions. And this is very important to get these answers from Miss Rebecca.
Miss Rebecca, we have a hand up. Goldie, please unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Miss Rebecca.
Hi.
I have been on the call a couple times.
Yes.
And I've been in talk with Miss Denise, and it's finally, good to talk to you. One of the questions she wanted me to get on and ask, can you live on a liter of water? I guess it would be for a day.
What you actually, and it varies. What a person should do is drink at least, if you can't get to a gallon, a half a gallon of water per day. Understand this, because the body has food, as I just explained, stored in the body that can't be used, it has to get flushed out. It takes water to flush it out.
Right.
And if you're not drinking water, guess what happens? you end up with things like gout and all of that, because when the water doesn't kick in, the excess acid kicks in. And gout comes from uric acid, an excess amount of it in the body breaking down the bones. And it's very painful. So again, it depends on, you know, the person, but you should drink no less than a half a gallon to a gallon of water per day.
Okay, because I've been going to a heart specialist because like the latter part of last year, because of the pandemic and not being mobile, and I have problems with my knees.
Right.
My doctor sent me to my heart specialist because she wanted to make sure I didn't have a whole bunch of fluid and stuff around my heart. So the first thing he looks at, and I did have some extended or some rushed weight gain that I'm not used to. I'm not used to it. So it's kind of getting to me right now. And talking to Denise, you know, she's talked to me about the boiling of the water right now.
Right.
Changing my food habits, which I have been, you know, doing that and moving towards that anyway.
Right.
But it kind of, you know, got to her about the liter of water, because I'm like, you got to have water in to flush old water out anyway. But it was like, I'm trying to live off this liter of, of water, you know, trying to push it in and push it out. And I do feel better when I do drink more water, you know. But yeah, I want to, you know, change. And she's getting ready to, you know, go through it with me and help me and everything. But she was just wanting me to make sure I asked the question.
Yeah, well, let me just share this with you. Whether you want to or not, if you drink this aloe vera, it will force your body to respond drinking water.
Okay.
And most people, I've heard a lot of people say to me, they don't like water. First of all, water has no taste.
Right.
Because there's only hydrogen and oxygen. So the water doesn't have taste because you've developed so many tastes for things that you shouldn't have, that water becomes a disqualifier.
Right.
But if you drink the juice and drink it the proper way and be consistent, not only will your heart issues be resolved, your weight issues will be resolved, and your body will be in balance. Because what your body is trying to communicate to you, it needs help, and it needs help quickly. Because if you don't start repairing one part, you're going to start seeing other parts break down. So you want to do what they call repair and maintenance all at the same time.
Right. Miss Rebecca, I wanted just to break in for a minute. We're getting close to 9:27. We have 3 more questions left. And while we're on the water, Miss Rebecca, I'd like to ask those 2 questions, and then we have 1 more, and we like to kind of like start closing the meeting down for final remarks. So let me just give you the 2, and then we have 1 other person. But should we drink a certain type of water, and can you talk on water retention in the legs and heart disease? And it is 9:29, and we just like to get those answered and try to bring it home.
Yes, yes. As a matter of fact, it's interesting that you said that, and I want you to see, can you walk with me through this? It is very important, the amount and the type of water that you drink, particularly. Years ago, people didn't have the issue of drinking water that's been going through pipes for hundreds of years. You have to understand, pipes are made of metal, and water will get through anything and will remove anything and will carry things with it. If you have pipes and your water coming through the pipes, you've got bacteria build up. That bacteria is in your water. A lot of people I often see go to the store and buy cases of water. I want you to take the time to read the label on that water. that water is sometimes coming from someone else's faucet. It's not coming from where you think it's coming from. It's coming from someone else's faucet. So my advice to you is this. If you're to go buy somebody else's water, you're paying for your water, use your own. Here is how you can do it. Heat will purify water. Heat will bring the pH balance back naturally to water. Get yourself a stainless steel pot. Fill that pot up. Boil it at a slow boil for an hour and a half. You will see steam coming from that water. What that steam is, the bacteria leaving the water. Once that water cools, that water is pure and natural. That's the only water that you should drink because the cells can absorb it. When you buy this water out of these stores, the cells have a hard time absorbing it because bacteria is in it. And the cell pushes back on bacteria. So yes, you definitely have to understand what type of water you drink and how to purify your water, because you have to remember, water nowadays aren't like what it used to be. It is definitely contaminated and polluted, but it's heat that purifies it.
All right. Miss Rebecca, thank you. I wanted to tell those individuals that didn't get an opportunity to get their questions in tonight, please, we invite you back at our Friday sessions next week. We will definitely start off with those questions, doing questions and answers. We'll get those questions answered. For the sake of time, we we really need to kind of like bring this to a closure. And I ask that you please respect that. So what I like to do right now, I just have a slide up here that talks about if you want to order any of the ABC&H Aloe Vera products, you can go to www.abcaloevera.com. Again, that's www.abcaloevera.com. As Miss Rebecca said earlier, her team is definitely waiting to help on any administrative or general questions regarding ABC Aloe Vera. The email address is abch.avjuice@gmail.com, and our Google number is 202-556-3181. We'll be looking forward to helping you all in any means possible as it relates again to the ABC&H Aloe Vera products. And as Miss Rebecca mentioned, anything that is above and beyond our knowledge, please reach out to Miss Rebecca. And Miss Rebecca, in closing, do you have anything in closing? Well, I'll turn it back over to you. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, I would. I know a young lady that's her name is Angel, is on this call. Angel, I think, is 4. Angel, it is a pleasure to have you on the call, and I want you to continue to be vigilant, to listen, and to take care of yourself and protect yourself so that you won't encounter the health problems that we are encountering. And the same thing, I don't know, remember his name, but Patrick's son, he's also 4. And I know he gets on the call with them. And any other young people, be mindful, be vigilant, and just watch how your life change. And I look forward to meeting all of you and to becoming a part of your lives and have you become a part of my life so that we can change things. We can help people. We can give people a quality of life rather than aging. Aging is a process, but we speed it up because we don't know how to take care of ourselves. So it was a pleasure talking to all of you. I hope I shared information that will help you, that will give you something to think about, because you are responsible and accountable for yourself. That's why, and I will share this, and it's probably going to be comical. That's why I like accounting. You have to be accountable for everything that you do. And when we get to the end of our life cycle, we have to be accountable to God. So we should practice now how to be accountable, because if you don't, you will eventually come to the end and not have that lesson well taught. So again, thank you all. I want all of you to pray for me. I will pray for all of you that we continue to be in conversation and in good health.
Miss Rebecca, Miss Barbara, may I speak for a moment, please? Just a moment.
Yes.
This is Miss Denise, Shining Star again. Correction on the email to go to see the program and the products and the testimonials. That's www.abch aloe vera juice. So go ahead, and that needs to just be duly noted. I did have some other things to say, but we love you, Miss Rebecca, and God bless you, Miss Barbara, and the team. Thank you, dear heart.
Thank you, Denise.
Yes.
Thank you. So as we all know, ABC&H aloe vera juice is a miracle drink. It is packed with health benefits and has various ingredients, as Miss Rebecca mentioned earlier. As you know, this product is manufactured with no preservatives. It's all natural. And please just go out on the website and you can read more. And if there's anything that the team can help you with, just please reach out to us. So again, thank you and have a wonderful
One thing I want to say, I'm sorry, Barbara. For those of you, and I know we have an hour, I will say this. For those of you that had questions that couldn't get them in tonight, I will be more than willing to take the time, even if it takes the whole hour next Friday, to answer your questions, because I want you to understand the seriousness of this. And if you have a question and it will help you, I will be more than willing, whatever length of time it takes, on the next call to answer your questions. So you let me know and I will be more than willing to help.
Thank you. And at this time, it is 9:37 and this meeting is adjourned.